Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 82 of the Sickcast, aka the Siblings in Cardboard podcast. I'm your host, Donnie, joined by my buddies / co-hosts, Noah, Thomas, and Justin. Whether you're a veteran card gamer or a first-timer just testing the waters, we are all in awe of that BNR, right?
Okay.
It's Monday, baby.
So I had a great name for this episode and it got completely ruined because I was thinking about it all day and it was going to be Open the Floodgates, but not those floodgates, because I was sure that they were going to ban Open the Floodgates, and then
it's all right. Our blessings have been counted, so we did it.
Yeah, there is a finite tally on them now.
I think we have like 3 or 4 variations of Count Your Blessing episode names, but I guess we could do some kind of nail in the coffin on that naming.
We can ruminate on germinate. We'll figure it out.
Ruminating on germinating. Okay, something like good. That. Okay,
we'll figure it out. We'll workshop it. But yeah, that was a list. I'm just happy that it's done. Like, I'm certain everybody was in every Discord, just being like 5 p.m., just being like, "Where's list? Where's list?"
Yeah,
right.
6 p.m. rolls around and it's like, "Where's the list? Where's the list?"
How did everybody react to it initially? So first thing you did when you saw it? Because we all saw it separately, different.
Hopefully you've already seen my reaction. Hopefully. So, we'll see.
My reaction?
My immediate reaction was copy, paste, link into Discord. That was the first thing I did before I even opened it.
By the way, that's how I found it, because I was like laying down, like trying to nap, and I was just like, all right, I'll check one more time. And then I saw you post it, and I was like, all right, I looked at it that way. But
yeah, because I was one of those wild people that was refreshing literally every few seconds trying to find it, and then I saw it pop up. Go time.
I was very surprised by the Germinate ban, but they kind of qualified it with the fact that they said that Germinate was going to be extremely toxic with some other card that they plan on printing in the high seas in the expansion slot. We got a Verdance expansion card last set. I guess we're maybe getting a Florian expansion card this set. Maybe it's just
Aurora
Earth.
one's going to be the next set.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing that surprised me. I'm not really surprised by the Count Your Blessings ban, regardless of the way they feel about it mechanically. It is kind of reviled throughout at least the entire casual community. I don't mind 100%. It much as like a mid to highest level player. Yeah. Don't mind it at all. It's something you work around, you can fight against. You just have to build your deck in a way that it just doesn't lose to 20, 30 life gain. Because you just consider, hey, I put more on hits in, I put more consistent damage dealing in, and I can get past it. The Germinate, yeah, that was surprising. Caught me off guard. And then I know a lot of people don't care, but I'm so glad that they punched Chain in the face.
Oh yeah, for the Living Legend bans, yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna care now, but I guess we'll get to that when we get to the full BNR section, right?
I mean. When they printed the new card, the name just left my mind.
Cole.
Yeah, Cole. That card was already just like a godsend for Vincent and made her much more playable. But if you just think about how that card plays in Chain, it's literally just broken. Like almost every game, you're going to probably play all 3 of them in one turn, completely eat someone's hand, and then just hit them for 25 damage that they have no way to interact with. And on top of having Carrion Husk and... Okay, it's gone, though.
Yeah. So, a couple of you guys played a PQ, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How'd that go?
I decided to give New one last chance, because I know she's gone in national season. Somebody somewhere is going to win 2 nationals, and my baby's going to be gone. So I wanted to play her one more time, and it did not go well. I lost my first 2 rounds, got the bye in the 3rd round, played a really, really good game against a Phi in round 4. Very enjoyable game, went down to 1-1. There was one point where he basically had me Kodachi locked, and I knew I was dead. I had nothing else that I could do. He just had to attack me 4 times and the game was over. But he bricked. So I managed to claw my way back on the next couple of hands, and I ended up closing out the game. It was super fun. Cannot remember the guy's name, but he's a Georgia local, plays at Giga, I think. Wait, Cameron maybe?
Yeah, it was Cameron, because I played against him too.
Okay, yeah, he was super great guy, really great game. Then in the last round, I played against Paul, and he was on Prism, and got him down to 1 life as well. But then time was called, and I just looked at the judge and said I concede because I lost in the first 2 rounds. He won his first 2 rounds, so I knew he was probably in a better position. So he top eighted. I don't think he went very far in the top 8 because he immediately played Chris on KO, and yeah, that's
Chris
just
was rolling hot.
yeah, that's just not a good matchup for Prism in general. But 2 and 3 on new for the day, and honestly, I may just put her back on the shelf and just play Mario from now on.
I mean,
Gone but not forgotten.
I think Count Your Blessings new was the best version of new. If you don't like that,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. That's how it came up, and now it's gone. So now
Well, they'll
there's-
go back to the cooking table, so there might be a variation that comes out that'll fit more of your playstyle, but we'll see.
it's okay. She's gonna pick up
Fair
like a
enough.
Nats win and be done because she did pick up a Battle Hardened win. Anyway,
2 Nats and she's out.
so I was worried I was going to run into like a bunch of Verdances and Florians, and there were 0 Verdants at the PQ, which was really surprising. I guess it's because Justin didn't show up and other Noah didn't show up. So
Oh yeah. Thursday before I got called into work for Saturday morning, so I couldn't make it.
round 1 was Azalea. Every time he shot a battering bolt, I basically had the go wide turn. And every time he shot a red and ledger, I basically had a handful of attack reactions. And so kind of put Azalea in the dirt. Then had a really close game against Azalea round 2, so Azalea into Azalea, but it lost that one, so that was first loss. Then I played Cameron on Phi, and I think I gained between 2 Persuasive Prognosis and a Art of the Body Mind. I think I gained 8 life. Yeah, both Persuasive Prognosis had Just Nick attached to them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it fully hit. It was, yeah. Persuasive Prognosis is really good into Phi, like really good. And it's funny because I
Can we
said
take
Art
those?
of Body Mind. I actually hit the blue off the top. So
Nice.
Nice.
so that went well, and then can't remember who I played in round 4. And then it was Chris in round 5, and he said, you know what? We don't need to play this. Have you had anything to eat? I'm like, nope. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get lunch. And he conceded to me because he was
at that
first
point,
seed
he was top
guaranteed.
seed.
Yeah.
And
So-
yeah, he played 2 other people and apparently rolled 6 into cast bones, and then had another game of turn 0 cast bones, Arsenal Blood Rush.
Oh my god.
So, so shout out Chris, you did it, bud. You lived the KO dream.
just really good. Just really
That's
good at the
crazy.
game. That's all that is.
Yeah.
So
Better players draw better, right?
That's rolling hot.
the only Azalea I didn't play was our buddy Evan, and all 3 Azaleas made top 8. So it was a very Azalea heavy meta. No, maybe it was only 2. Only 2 of the Azaleas made top 8. But I played against Andrew Lorenz, local final boss. Except he wasn't the final boss; he was my first boss. On
Mine
Florian,
too.
and dude, I had him. I was pushing the damage. I had a huge life lead, and then suddenly, like, I just have like a kind of middling turn. I'm only threatening about 8 or 9 damage, and he takes it all, and he's just like, arcane seeds go up to like 8 rune chants and stuff, and then throws swarming gloom veil for a ton of damage, and then follows it up with a felling of the crown for lethal, just out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, well, here we go. And then he just consistently disrupted me until basically had nothing left. And yeah, I lost it on first round top 8, but still had a good run.
Top 8's still top 8. We take those.
Yep.
Winning in this game is hard.
It is.
Yeah, but we did the tally up for Team Go Again, so shout out us. But every event that we went to besides one of us was in the finals. And
That's pretty good.
Yeah, of events that we went to, everybody except for 6 people, like out of like people who attended events, would top the event. So we had like over the course of, I think it was like 8 events, only 6 people missed top 8. So like 6 instances of somebody missing top 8, which is really, really good. So little plug for the group. I'm very proud of them. They all did awesome.
Yay, go us. We went and traveled around the Southeast stomping PQs.
Yeah. It was funny.
Dream
Yeah,
crushing.
it was funny.
Sorry. We like playing
Traveling
card
around.
games. We're willing to drive. It's not a
We
good
do like playing
combination
card games.
sometimes
For others.
yeah.
We had a
And,
good time though.
hey, and we'll accept it. If you want to roll down into the one that we give per season and stomp us, that is A-OK. We'll take it.
Good luck.
Yeah, come on over. We'll have some fun.
Now there were some, I think Huntsville, Alabama folks that had drove over for the Johns Creek PQ, and yeah, they, I think one of them managed to make it to the top 8.
Yes, that was...
One of them.
It wasn't Faye. It wasn't Allison. It's the other one. I can't remember their name. Anyway, all of them, I really enjoy hanging out with them because I ran into them constantly in Alabama. And Faye was the previous judge for the previous PQ. They took time out of their day to just spend the entire day judging. And anyone who does that has just like a clear love of the
you're
game and
an
the community. So yeah,
Right.
MVP. So appreciate them judging and then driving all the way out to Johns Creek and playing the game with us.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's
So,
nice seeing new faces.
good for you guys. Good for our like local area. It's funny how many like crossovers we have between Alabama and Georgia. And then it was weird when we went to the South Carolina one. I was like, I know 2 people here. Where like I feel like anytime I go to Alabama, I'm like, I know everyone.
Yeah. Everyone needs to sign up for the Atlanta one earlier.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
something else we will plug in
messed
here
up.
because I'm assuming we're mostly Atlanta-based show or Southeast-based show.
Mostly,
If
I
you
think.
are in the Metro Atlanta area or interested in going to events in the Metro Atlanta area, how our TOs work is if we have enough people register in advance, they will communicate with LSS to get a larger venue because a lot of our events are capped at 24. So whenever we have an event, please just sign up early and get your spot.
That's right. I gotta sign up. I didn't go to PQ. They had a spot last minute, but I already had plans. I went to my own PQ. It was called Poker Quest. So I went on a quest, got candles, had a poker tournament. I won second place.
Hey,
there you go.
I won
I'll
like
take that.
won 4 digits. So we're good. Like I had a good time. I've been.
You won the
I've
Pro
been
Quest. Good
dabbling.
job.
I won that Pro Quest, and then I went to Armory on Sunday. We had some newer players. It was hilarious. We had 2 3-0s at Armory because there was some debacle with the way that they had the people slated. One person didn't actually make an account. Will just let him use his account, so he sat and played like he was Will, and it was hilarious because there was 2 Wills, and I accidentally played
Just
Will.
be cool.
And then after I played Will, we realized I played the wrong Will. And then I had to play Will again. Like I had to play the other Will that I was supposed to play.
so you just got to play more Flesh and Blood. That's a good thing.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. But they had a good time. So I still got to play some failure.
That was good.
Okay,
So.
so now that like we're basically are we almost done with the pre-release spoiler season? Do we get more
Yep.
spoilers during this week, or
Nope.
is it just dead
No,
until?
I think that's it, right?
Okay, so we've got about 4 days before you get to know any more cards, unless there's something that like leaks out. And so we're just waiting for the world premiere. Keeping that in mind,
surprised
I'm
if
sure
it
there's some things that are just like hot now. Also, a certain card on the BNR probably made another card pretty hot too.
Sure. A few cards. I mean, this is all subject to change, I think. More spoilers, but where do we want to begin? I mean,
Let's
some
begin
of
with
it's,
plugs.
huh? Oh,
Let's
that's
begin with
correct.
plugs.
That's correct, man.
Yeah,
what a
we want to
great-
start with some plugs. Yes.
That's right. It's the affiliate link. This is that time again where I tell you about this link that you have to click. It's all you have to do. You just click the link. You still go to TCG Player. It's the same website. Nobody's fishing anything. Same website. Just click the affiliate link and check out. It's just a kickback. It's just 3%. And it helps support the podcast and all that. We really appreciate it. But they'll be in the description along with other affiliate links to sleeves, dice, binders, various other. So just one way. If you want to check them out, please do. And let's talk about some cards that have gone out. Okay, so Obviously, hunted still borked, so if it's a hunted card, it's probably still $1 billion. I don't want to be a broken record, but the ship has pretty much sailed on things like Shelter Call, things like that. Codex survived the ban list. Didn't survive the reprint list, so it might spike again, but I highly doubt it. I think people are actually really worried it's getting reprinted, which is a good thing. So let it keep going down. It's at 84 right now, just in case anybody's wondering. So we're getting there with Feral. Call of the Grave is a $50 card, just is what it is. I think it only gets higher as the deck works its way out. Unfortunate, unless some kind of reprint hunted, brings that down. So let's do that. Shelter's at 100 and climbing. Again, it still remains a staple card. What are you going to do about it? 0 for 4 blocks are real. The Hunter's Clave is $80 plus because looks like Marionette is a good deck. And so is Slippy. I think they both can play it, right?
Yeah, they both play too.
That's tough. Schism of Chaos, along with it, just wanted to keep your eyes on that $65 rainbow foil, kind of climbing up a little bit. I think it's just the assassin tax at the moment. I think maybe some of the new players might slide over early. I don't know. It's hard to say. Now, the one card, and this is kind of funny because this is exactly how I reacted when the ban list. When I saw 3 of a Kind wasn't on the ban list, I picked up a playset of 3 of a Kinds because I said it survived, and so I picked up 3 of a Kind. So did everybody else in the universe at the same time.
I mean, if you were just on Japanese Twitter at all, like if you're on Japanese Fab TCG Twitter, they literally had like an image with Shoma saying, "This is what the card you add to Marlin decks," and it was 3 of a Kind. It was really clear that card wasn't getting banned.
So, but there's a lot of people this morning going, F's in the chat, whatever, like say goodbye to 3 of them, all sorts of things. So I was like, I don't think it's going. I kept telling him to unban Berserk in my card openings. I thought it would have been great. Think about it, LSS. Just let the brutes run free. Give them Berserk. Okay. I promise it'll be fine.
No thanks.
Reinhardt can finally get what he deserves. Keep 3 of a Kind on radar. You pretty much have to. I'll put it this way. 0 sold the past week because everybody was worried about it. Okay, maybe I'm lying. Maybe not 0, but the amount that sold this week versus today, which 96 sold today. 96 copies of 3 of a Kind already sold. So
wow.
just keep that in mind. It's about $15 for the normals right now. The rainbow foils are 20 and climbing. This is always obviously unlimited. It is Arcane Rising. But I can tell you it went from 6 pages of, on my phone, 6 pages of mobile whatever pages, down to 1. So just give you an idea.
Let me stop you for a quick moment. Donnie needs to refresh his camera.
Yeah, stupid thing died on me.
It's okay.
Trying.
Are you there?
I mean, I'm here, but
He's spinning.
it's thinking about it.
It's thinking.
Good old Discord. Nothing beats
Your
Discord.
camera's upset that it didn't jump on 3 of a Kind fast enough. Now it's got to pay $15 a card for it because we live in a world where 3 of a Kind and Marlin are going to be like this.
Yep.
Just unplug and plug it back in with the USB or something.
I don't think it's my camera, dude. Hold on to see.
It's usually a
Camera is
Discord
sending
thing.
at a low frame rate. This may be caused by high system load.
Ooh, or that.
Not sure what that means.
Maybe kill Chrome. Or if you have any kind of video editing software, that could do it too.
The only thing that's up is OBS. Nothing else is up on my computer right now.
Sorry, we'll just cut all this out and move on.
All right. In that case, should I just drop the call and come back?
Yeah, go ahead and drop the call and come back.
Hold on.
You guys really don't want them to just unban Berserk? Let Reinhardt finally get his...
It's not even Reinhardt, it's KO.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but he's speedrun to LL, so then Reinhardt
No,
gets
he can't
used
anymore.
again.
He's been around for a long. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. He would speedrun because it'd be
Yes.
1.5.
Oh, he's...
Dude, and then the new card that you discard and get Gold Kiss
I
from.
know! I know!
You know how-
he would be wheeling!
You know how that interacts with scabskin leathers, right?
No,
If you-
I
You go to 2 action
get-
points even if you hit a 2 or a 3. If you get a 4 or 5, you get a 3 action points. If you get a 6, you get a 4 action points.
Because you're not actually going to lose an action point for the
Because it gives your boots
Rolling
go
scabs,
again.
yeah.
Because it gives the boots. Oh my god, that's amazing! Absolutely unbanned. Hell yeah!
Yeah. No, with that card, KO might be
Say-
LL viable now.
All right,
Good.
jumping back into to 3 of a kind. Just finishing notes on it. So obviously want to get a jump on this card. 96 have sold today. Actually, well, yeah, 120 between 2 days ago and today. So just be real. Like, get yourself some 3 of a kind. That's one of the biggest cards that initially jumped, and then it dawned. Like, I was like, okay, they unbanned a very key card for a hero that, well, I mean, nobody's ever talked about, which is Katsu, because they gave us back one of them, which we've been talking about this. What would happen if Bonds was banned? Just to give you guys an idea. So Ancestral Empowerment, I would keep that on your radar as well. Definitely want to. That's the one from Welcome to Wraith and or the History Pack. That's probably going to go up as well. But since that announcement, 46 copies of Gust Wave of the second wind sold. That is the bad Gust Wave that everybody called it at the time that it came out, or underwhelming Gust Wave, whatever we want to call it.
It is.
So people are still jumping on it. It might be underwhelming, but they're jumping on it. Retrace the past. The Katsu specialization sold 42 of them. It is now $20 each for non-foils and $23 for foils. And then Dishonor as well has sold a bunch of copies. I think it's actively being bought even as we're recording, obviously, because the ban list is sort of like trickling. You know, people are looking at it at different times. The data is going crazy, so it doesn't actually give me the metric, but they are $5 plus and climbing. They jump to 10 very, very quickly. So
this deck is so ridiculously bad into Florian. Just don't see
Into insert hero here. Yes.
No, there's a lot of heroes that Katsu, even without Bonds of Ancestry, is at least a little bit playable, but Florian just covers everything he wants to do. He's got a pair of boots that always say there's one turn where you can't even push breakpoints. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely decks that have his number. Obviously, people are still pretty excited about the restriction being lifted. It'll still make it playable probably in certain places. And they're going to get cracking on it. Who knows what they could cook up.
also no Art of War.
Yeah, no Art of Wars. I mean, you got Ancestral Harmony. It's not the same. They'll figure it out. If anybody can figure it out, it's the Mega Minds out in the Fab world that are always cooking. But that's it. I mean, realistically, I still think you should get your Starstrucks, get your Guardian cards, get your Brute cards. I'll say it to the ends of the earth. Savage Lance is probably going to get revisited next. I'm not some kind of psychic, but you know, it's like probability, right? So just same thing with Bonds. Like, they knew the card didn't do anything wrong. Just want to be ahead of that. So get your 3 of a kind, get your Brute, get your Guardians, get your Frostlocks, because there's a specific card that gives blue arrows go again. So get your Frostlocks. I'd hold those. You're just close. Lots of
God,
Frostlocks.
Lexi gets to place wrong. Why does Lexi?
That's right.
Anyway, okay, we're fine.
Lexi might be a little better in LL because of that, but not a lot. She struggles.
That's all right. I get to play hypothermia. I don't care.
Okay,
That's what I got.
so
That's it.
ProQuest is done, and my God, week 5, 25% of the wins were Florian.
Yep. It's like that deck needed to get hit, and guess what? He got hit.
Surprisingly, Syndro was second.
Yeah, that was weird to me, but
We talked about that, I think, right? A little bit. The death by 1,000 cuts. It's an around
It's
factor.
it's a Lynx combo deck now, and there's a certain part of the world that is very high on Syndra, or very part of the U.S. A certain part of both the U.S. and the world. So yeah, that is high on Syndra. But it's a combo deck. It's a combo deck now. But I don't know. I don't really have strong opinions on it. One of our other locals thought it was very good in the Scepter Florian, because Scepter Florian really wanted to block 4 on things with the D-Reacts. And that deck coming in for 1s and 2s and Flicks and was really good for it. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of opinions on Syndra.
I mean, clearly it was pretty good into Florian, because in the Florian dominant meta that was week 5, she was the second best deck. And it's not necessarily fair to say second best deck, because New's right behind with 8, Fang's right behind with 7, Kana right behind with 6. Florian was in first with 24 wins. Like,
Yeah, it's like Florian, everybody else.
yeah, literally you add second, third, and fourth, and that's the total wins for week 5 for Florian.
Yeah, that's insane.
The total standings, Florian managed to catch up and pass Aurora in the 2 weeks since she was banned at 123 total wins during the ProQuest. Aurora missed out on 2 weeks and got 118 wins. They tried to say that Florian was probably more dominant in the meta, but I think that's not right.
No, that's true.
I think Aurora was clearly the most dominant hero in the ProQuest meta. She just LL'd 2 weeks before the
difference is you would have 4 to 6 Auroras at an event. Like that PQ that I played in South Carolina, it was like a 25-man room or something like that, and we had 8 Auroras in the room. Right? You'd have things like that, where almost every ProQuest you went to, you only had like 1 or 2 Florians, and you had 1 or 2 Florians in top 8.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I could see your face. No, are you getting wigged out by Donnie's camera?
Donnie's camera.
It's a bit of everything. It's a bit of everything. But dude, the cameras definitely got me like feeling like we're gonna get a transmission here soon. I'm serious.
It's gonna be some little girl crawling out of a TV here in just a
I
second.
know that's what
Fair
Donnie.
I was staring at.
Donnie,
it like,
can you
man,
see it on your side?
Yeah, I can see it on my side. I'm
Maybe
trying.
this is something I should
don't know what's
be
going on,
staring
guys.
at.
My-
No, don't worry. This is flavor.
We can. I kind of want to leave like this green version of Donnie up for the rest of the show. But can we get like a picture? Can we like screen cap Donnie's screen right now, and we just use this one?
That's Donnie's alter ego.
He's the generated Donnie.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
going
just, like,
to
Beetlejuice
click
Johnny
this
or
camera
Donnie.
off one more time, and if it doesn't come back up, I don't know what to do.
We could just use a picture for the day.
We have put
or
a
something.
still image of me on it.
Yeah.
There he is!
Okay, yeah, sure, there he is. But anyways, so yeah. What were we talking about?
So,
Oh yeah, you were gonna go on.
Well, you were talking about the number of Auroras versus the number of Florians and why you thought that Aurora was still a more dominant. And I agree with you. I think Aurora was a more represented, more brought, more played, more popular deck. And I think that kind of layered on the feeling of her being a dominant deck. I think once that deck left, I mean, they went elsewhere, but Florian just didn't have anything to keep it down, and it just progressively got more wins. But 3 to 4 Florians versus 8 Auroras, I agree. I mean, there was like probably 8 Auroras. Every event you're going, like 26 players, at least 8 of them are on Aurora.
That still feels a little weird and unfair.
It does.
Because like people usually play that kind of deck, and it's that highly represented because of it being the best deck in the format, and it being very notably the best deck in the format. Where Florian wasn't notably the best deck in the format. He was just very strong. Like, he had weaknesses, Aurora being one of them.
Right. But Aurora's an aggro deck, right? I honestly, I mean, aggro decks are tailored towards, I don't want to say like the majority of players, but like players like aggro decks. Like, I don't play Azalea because I like playing slow. I play Azalea because I like putting 18 Bolton shots on the table, like your battering bolts. Like, that's fun.
Big
to
number.
me.
Yeah.
I know
going
that's sickening, because like some people say, I believe that. Absolutely, 2 players telling me brand new had to play against Azalea. One of them was a Fang, and it was. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Red Ledger's a hell of a card. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you, but you play those decks. So I think the aggro mentality sits more with most players. So Aurora has that more sort of like oppressive sort of feel to it. I don't know. I definitely think Florian is on everybody's mind now, though. Nobody wants to play against that Scepter build.
Okay, we can continue. We have unfortunately replaced Donnie with a much better looking new alluring desire.
Sorry, we still
Which
love
is
you,
fair.
Donnie.
This was an on the spot edit. It will have a nice little jump of him being here, kind of green screen slash cross hatching out and looking like some 80s hacker movie. Then suddenly it's new. But yeah, where were we? I think we were talking about how like the Florian
was
and Aurora being dominant and why they were dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Aurora had high numbers plus was really good. Where Florian, it's like Florian felt like Enigma comparative. Like if you actually got a chance to look at the percentage, like win-loss percentages for Pro Tour London, both the calling and the Pro Tour, Enigma was your best performing deck. And Enigma was your best performing deck by like a pretty significant, not a significant margin, but like a decent margin because Aurora was still good. But Aurora was your most played deck, right? So it felt like that situation again, where Florian was going to be less represented, but each copy of Florian did better on average.
Wasn't that the same story with Starvo?
No, Starvo
Starvo
your
was
most
less represented
and
and
he was your best deck. We all knew that one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree. I think Florian was like, once Enigma left, Florian lost his worst matchup by far.
Yep.
And he was possibly a little bit too strong. And I think the bans were perfect.
Yep. And that is a perfect transition into the ban talk because those PQs are,
I mean,
So-
there were some battle hardens. New picked up a win. We were really scared she was going to hit Living Legend like before Nats, which would have been crazy.
Oh, that would have been so nice.
Florian took up too much of the meta though. And then who was it that won the other two? It was Florian in the other two battle
Yeah,
hardens,
so
right?
you had
Florian and the other
six.
two.
You had 3 battle hardens. Of the 6 finalists, 4 of them were Florian. All 4 were stack Florians, and 2 of them won, and 1 of them lost.
Wow.
So
Wow, 6 finalists, 4 Florians. 4
Yeah.
Florians, 1 new, and then what was? Do we know the other one? By chance?
Vincent, Brody Spurlock on Vincent.
Oh, no way!
That's good.
No,
There were
Vincent's
2
very good.
There were
Very
2 Vincents in that top 8, and Brody Spurlock
Wow.
was one of them. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and pretend that didn't happen, so I don't have to worry about it for Nats.
Vincent got a buff.
No.
Count Your Blessings getting banned is a buff for
Yeah,
Vincent.
that's huge for her. Actually,
It's
that's
huge
such a good
because
point.
her deck math is already so, like rides that line. So that's
Fatigue was a real problem for her, and just having to put Reaping Blade on the board and not getting to play her flail in every matchup was a big deal.
Yeah. Now you don't have to. Reaping Blade is like completely optional now.
Yeah, you probably just don't
Vincent.
run it.
So Count Your Blessings. Yeah, that's banned. Despite what they said about like it not being a big problem, they just don't have the full tools to use it. We'll tamper it down with blue. And there were people even contemplating that they were going to unban Count Your Blessings blue. Instead, they
That
just
was
said,
delusional.
we don't want to design around Count Your Blessings. It's reviled by the community. It's gone. Then Germinate and Scepter of Pain. Double tap on Stack Florian. The deck is not playable anymore. At all.
Nope. Stack isn't. A little more peel behind the curtain to me is you had to hit both iterations of Florian. Like I think Stack Florian was the best deck in the format, and I think I hate the name mid-range Florian, the like Reaping Blade based Florian, like Grasp of the Arcanate, Reaping Blade Florian. I think that was your second best deck in the format, and then it was new. Right? Like if you were able to split out the deck list, I think your PQs would have won that way. But you had to hit both. I was expecting Arcane Seeds, not Germinate, but Germinate hits the stack version harder, so I'm okay with this.
these feel good. These feel like 2 targeted bans. Verdance doesn't get hit by this in any
thank
way,
God.
which is really good. And Verdance actually getting a buff in a way because of Count Your Blessing, sort of, I think, because there's some
No,
decks
definitely.
that messes with her math as well. So these are very big positives for Verdance. But I mean, they're feel good bans. You know what I mean? Like nothing catastrophic happened. I mean, we still have one more, which kind of touched on earlier with Katsu, but and they hit a deck that was what they deemed problematic, as well as the design space that's problematic. I mean, let's be real. Poison the Well is a cute card, but like, you don't need to worry about a deck that can generate that much life gain. Like that shouldn't be the way they explain it. That shouldn't be your basis for deck design. Is how am I going to deal with X amount of life gain?
That's why we always memed on Poison the Well a little bit, because I don't think Flesh and Blood can handle huge amounts of life burst. Like, and so
No.
Poison the Well being good means there's a problem in Flesh and Blood at the moment.
No,
Yes.
I agree. If there's a card that needs to be Poison the Well, right? Like then there's a problem with the game. Like there shouldn't be that card.
They talked about it in the BNR announcement, and I thought it was really good, where they're talking about just like the burden of load in terms of testing and understanding what how your deck interacts with a CYB deck and whether it is or is not a CYB deck. Like, you sit down across from a new, right? If it's a CYB new, that's a totally different equation than a regular new. And the other really good example is Jarl. Like a CYB Jarl versus a regular Jarl that's like Frostfang pummeling you. Totally different equations. You want really different cards for those matchups. And you have to test, like, so it's not like, oh, I'm testing Verdance versus Jarl or Kano versus Jarl. It's now I'm having to test Kano versus CYB Jarl, and then I have to test Kano versus aggro Jarl. And it was too much bandwidth. It was a lot for your average player to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, you want some flavor.
Yeah, and there's the flavor stuff. Like, suddenly your deck is being labeled after a generic card feels weird, I guess. People were upset with that. I don't know. I don't care. But, and as a competitive player, like, I don't really care about CYB. Like, at first I hated the card. I reached enlightenment. I no longer cared about the card. It was just a thing we had to deal with. And it was a tool in some of the decks that we played. Like, it is what it is. I was looking at like a CYB Verdance deck because that's a lot of life gain into burst and then rampant growth. But
True.
It's gone. And I think for a health of the game situation, that's a good ban.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't double down on that one. I mean, I really expected them to unban CYB Blue with High Seas coming, but I think I much prefer this timeline when it's just gone and we don't have to think about it anymore.
They did talk to about just, I guess, they thought it would be a little bit more received well within the community, that, you know, maybe we could get around the whole life game, but I'm not saying like, oh, people don't like it grown, let's get rid of it. I actually think it's a very sort of, I don't want to say cheesy like line of play, but it opens the doors for just like a why. Like a why do you need to build around that type of a variant? I mean, we already have 0-4 D-Reacts out the wazoo, which I think are just as problematic in some cases as life cards. And then you add them both together, and it just creates a 50-minute, like they said, slogfest, which doesn't feel like any value you've gained over the course of the game had any impact, because somebody heals it all the way with one card.
Now, that being said, I think they kind of baited us a little bit with the BNR, because I thought they were going to be much more aggressive.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
thought so too.
I think everybody thought that. Like, everybody was like, I mean, I was being funny with some of the videos, like, oh, it's going to be the day of reckoning, but
Noticeably, yeah.
High Octane
think
didn't get
this
unbanned. I'm obviously super upset.
they're going to have to wait and see how the mech goes first. Before they can ban
Overflow and
High Octane.
Depot didn't get banned.
Yep.
Kano got untouched.
Not a
We'll
single
talk about
touch on
that later.
Kano. I don't think Kano is awfully problematic, but it doesn't feel good to like block out like all but one of the wildfire, and then he commences to like hit like
Just keeps going.
5 open the
'Cause he gets, like,
floodgates
6
in a row.
floodgates.
Open the floodgates. Open the floodgates. Open the floodgates. That creates some pretty bad play, because you just kind of get high rolled, and it like they banned Berserk for that like exact reason, but it's okay with open the floodgates and overflow the Aether Well.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that, but this is their largest ban list if you look across every format,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Blitz got a big hit. It's basically just turning CYB down across all formats.
Yep.
CLV, Flickerwisp, Stormstriders getting hit. Basically, they need to pull Aurora and Wizards into line. Stormstriders has always been the most powerful thing to be doing in Blitz, and you just pick the best Stormstriders deck, and that's a good thing to be doing.
Yeah.
That was a good ban.
Aurora. Oh yeah,
these are good. The Stormstriders ban felt like it surprised me for a second, but then I said, you know what? That's actually really good. Like those boots are problematic. Like with the life total and the limited, like that's a problematic piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Stormstriders is a time walk. Like,
yeah.
Speaking Magic Gathering terms, it's a time walk on a stick.
And also, like, your kill threshold in CC is like 7 with it. In Blitz, it's even higher because you play the red spells.
Yeah.
Just to like increase your range. So it's just like ultimately, like if your starting life total is 10 in a 20 health format, that's not good. So
yeah, if you're already gunning for somebody at 10, like that doesn't feel.
And this is coming from the guy who loves wizards, so like that's fine. I'm okay with this ban. It's frustrating, but you're a wizard player. You're gonna figure out how to get around it. Living Legend, you get to talk about this one, Thomas.
Okay,
that's right.
There's a lot
about those bans.
Okay, so I am a big fan of Living Legend. As soon as Cole came out, we talked about this. It's a little bit earlier in the podcast. I want to say that I had no interest in playing Living Legend while Cole was part of the meta. It's so clear that Chain was the best deck that I didn't even want to bother playing. It's like I amused the idea of playing Living Legend when Kraken's Aether Vein was available for Verdance in Living Legend, but it's really, if you're playing Living Legend, you're almost playing in a meme format while that card was legal. I felt the same with all of the tools that Chain had, because Chain was already borderline unbeatable for most decks. Most decks had to really heavily tech against him or get a little lucky, or the Chain had to get a little bit unlucky on his shackles in order to even have a chance. But in general, the Chain just rolled you. And with the ability to just eat your hand away at instant speed for 3 cards once he was ready to go, because he could just leave them there and just take the blood debt, because his life total didn't actually matter because he had Carrion Husk. He just had 6 life on a stick, avoid target on hit on a stick, on top of having Face Purgatory. Just made him just such a house. But now that Call is restricted, which I think is perfectly where it should be, I think it's a little bit of a strong reaction that they banned Husk, they restricted Call, they restricted Deadwood Dirge, and they restricted Succumb to Temptation. These were all like big Runeblade hits.
Yeah, those were all 3-0s in the Chain deck.
Yeah. This feels like the Starvo hit, right?
Yeah.
Which I think he was close to on that level. But notably, Crown of Seeds is now banned again. Sad. That card is so much fun, and I don't think it's that problematic. I'm not sure what made them want to ban Crown of Seeds.
It's a
you've never done the math on this before.
It is okay.
It's
no,
activating Tunic on your turn to get rid of the arsenal you didn't need to draw a card is like one of the most busted things ever.
No, your percentage to Starvo Fuse whenever you activate Tunic for Crown of Seeds to make it a 5-card hand versus a 4-card hand jumped up 17%.
Wow. Okay, that is a lot. But they did unrestrict hypothermia, so they gave him hypothermia.
I'm so happy I get to talk about Icelander. Okay, dude, I'm a kid in candy shop right now. I'm so fucking happy to have this card back. Icelander had so many problems in LL because she is a very slow deck. She is very methodical, and she only had one tool in that format to slow down all of these really fast degenerate things that are going on, because the degeneracy on the offensive side is like crazy absurd. And that's fine. That's what this format is. But she only had one tool to counteract all of that, and that was Channel Lake Frigid. So your game's boiled down to, did you draw Channel Lake Frigid? The answer being no, you lose the game every time, no questions asked. Just go next. Hypothermia at instant speed is the grossest thing you can do in Flesh and Blood. If you have not had it happen to you and you get to play an LL event, you will learn very quickly. I'm counting, sorry. I played 7 games that day. I won 6 games. The first tournament I ever brought Icelander to was a calling, and I won 6 of those games because I instant speed hypothermia at somebody's big turn.
And I counter you with playing Blood Rush Bellow, then getting hit by Channel the Bleak Expanse at instant speed.
And that's fine too. Like, that's really strong. But like, you throw that first claw on your Blood Rush Bellow, right? Because you always lead with claw because it's the thing.
Well,
And I get to hypo you now, and your Blood Rush turn only does 5 damage.
well, same thing with Channel the Blink Expanse. You play the Blood Rush fellow, and they play Channel the Blink Expanse, so you don't draw cards, and then you have the 2 resources that you had to play the Blood Rush fellow, and you go claw pass.
Exactly. So it's like it ends up being the same thing, right? So now she actually has 9 tools because Bleak is good for some matchups. That's very useful. But instant speed hypothermia, like Lexigo's Rain Razor's 3 of a kind, they have to respect now whenever they're playing against an Icelander that they could get instant speed hypoed at any point.
So
Like,
I think
that's a really big deal.
Yeah, I think Icelander she was okay in the Calling Chicago meta. There was a very specific deck that if you dodged Starvo a little bit, you do really well. You beat everyone but Starvo. Now I think Starvo's been toned down. They got rid of
A lot. Crown
Electro
of Seeds is a huge hit.
Yeah, losing Crown of Seeds and restricting Somersault. Now I think Icelander is a perfectly viable pick.
Yes.
So,
And even if she isn't, I'm going to force her because I can cope on it.
and why are we talking about Living Legend? Because it is now an enforced format at Worlds this year. That was another thing that came in BNR.
Enforced, you mean it is?
It is
like-
part of the world's format.
Like draft would be in between rounds. Is that what we're getting
It's
at?
probably
In
CC
addition
draft
to draft, I think.
and Living Legend. Like it's probably all 3.
LSS, everybody else, leave the room. I'm just going to have a little conversation with LSS here for a second, okay? We've done this before. It sucked. Okay?
Did it with Blitz, right?
We did a 3 format form before. It sucked. I hated helping people test for that event. Don't do this again. Have it be a dual format. That's all I ask. You can have a Living Legend. That's fine. Just make it a dual format. Okay, you guys can come back in the room.
So, okay.
Okay, so like, what would you rather see? Them get rid of CC or get rid of draft to support a dual format that includes Living Legend?
Well, you can't get rid of CC.
Obviously.
Yeah, you can't get rid of CC, so you're getting rid of draft.
So it'd be a CC and LL
Maybe
And maybe it's
event.
it just seems so wrong to not have limited in your higher tier events.
Hopefully it's like a LL calling. Like, that's what they mean. And it's not actually like in the World Championship. It's like a 3 format event. I don't know. But like...
But no, it says Living Legend will be one of the formats used to determine our world champion.
Oh, geez, it does say that. Okay.
Okay.
that means that you'll be playing LL.
So are you playing like 4 rounds of CC and then like 6 rounds of draft and then 4 rounds of Living Legend and then going to a CC top 8?
That's what we did. And guess what? It sucked.
Or are you... What if they just go Swiss is normal and then Living Legend top 8? Something just totally off the wall.
I don't know how they're going to do this. I have faith in LSS for the most part.
What's the meta? Hold on. What would that meta be like if only the top 8 was Living Legend? Because you don't have to consider the Swiss meta at all. You only have to consider
the top met.
You just consider the most powerful thing. You just play the most powerful thing.
But
Yeah.
what if you bring something that counters the most powerful thing? And then what if you bring something that counters the most powerful thing?
You can't go 3 levels down.
Do you think it's just all 8 Starvos? Because everyone just wants, I'm just going to bring the safe thing. Like,
Is this how Starvo finally gets a tier 4 event win?
oh man, I don't know.
During his own time. I don't know. But I'm excited to play Living Legend again. That's pretty cool. Something that else causes all this. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about the behind the curtain stuff, but one of the big reasons we're seeing the ban list happen now is the integration of the digital submissions with Gem, and they are able to get deck lists much better now, and able to actually compile everybody's data better because they don't have to read my crappy handwriting and convert that into something. They're able to take PQ data.
System works really well. Thumbs up to that.
It's awesome.
That system's great.
Yes. Yes, digital submission on Gem is awesome. Please keep doing that. Well, we have to, but It's great. And that is a large part of why we're getting this style of ban list now is we have much better data. And they have much better data on like these decks are winning with these cards in the list. So we are able to change it. So.
Okay. Last comment on the BNR article. The new Living Legend points distribution system. I feel like this is the biggest, stinkiest, ugliest Band-Aid I've ever seen for anything ever. But the first year of legality, a hero will only get half Living Legend points. Then second year, they get 1x, just normal. And then every year after that, they get a 1.5 multiplier. This is just so weird. And they said they should have been tracking fractional Living Legend points the whole time. Now they have to. Because they're multiplying things by 0.5s.
But the crazy thing is, I actually didn't even read that far. I was one of those people who just looked at the cards and then just like passed.
This is a big one.
Hold on, that's wild.
Yes, because if you look at that, Aurora wouldn't even be close to hitting Living.
Yeah, but there's a problem. Fine. Yeah, well then they just ban the cards.
Well, are they going to fix decks, or are they just going to not fix decks because they're not going to super race out of the format? Like, can you imagine like a quarter of every event's meta you go to is Aurora for an entire year?
So they
would have banned the card.
Would they?
They did say that. They said that in the dev talk that they are going to be more aggressive with bans.
Yeah.
Going forward.
And if you read the blurb at the end where it discussed the next BNR announcement, you can tell that they've got future BNRs in mind a little more.
This is weird though, right? So your hero doesn't get the same scrutiny because it's new, so it's allowed to be completely grossly unfair until they can figure out how to fix it, which is fine because you got to figure out how to fix it. But a hero that then just slows down and becomes aged gets to go away faster and still eventually make it there, but not necessarily of its own accolade by a 0.5 buffer. I don't know. It feels weird. If you're gonna,
it's a weird system. It's
I just think that that's silly. A 4 or 5 year old hero like Thori is gonna go because it finally wins something and a 1.5 multiplier sends off. Like that's sickening.
I think it's fine. Personally, I like it. But
just balance the heroes and keep it 1x and tone the points down. You're gonna give the hero like it's.
To be fair, Dorinthia would have to win 2 world championships to be on the cusp of hitting Living Legend with that 1.5 multiplier.
Yeah,
I understand where we need to go with Thori. Okay, that's just the
better example. Yeah, the better example to look at is Viserai and Azalea, both of them, because Viserai was at like 700 points when Rosetta dropped, and he was just like total non-factor before Rosetta. After Rosetta dropped, he was the king of the meta, and he would have left earlier. He would have been gone before.
Is that fair though?
Before Hunted.
Is that fair for your deck finally to be good and then it goes out quicker just because it's older? Like that sucks.
I think that's fine. I played Viserai way back in the day. I had a lot of fun with him. I've picked him up a couple of times after they banned Skeletor, just to like have fun with the deck again, feel alive. There were different points where I thought he was actually like a good meta pick, and that was fine. Like I did that. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed those experiences with him. He is an old hero at that point, right? These heroes have to rotate eventually.
Yeah, they should.
Do they?
No, I think all heroes should rotate eventually.
Yes, everybody needs to rotate eventually.
But how artificial are these heroes eventually going to have to rotate? Because some of these heroes don't look like you give them 2.5, they're still not going to rotate.
That's
you know
fine.
what I mean? So, like, I'm just saying, I feel like there's a bit of a catch-22 with this. This is a safety net for LSS to design a hero that's going to be problematic, that they know that they like won't be able to get all the what ifs in design.
Is it sad that you could have given the Heavy Hunters heroes a 10x multiplier and Olympia and Betsy would be below 100 points?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna have situations like that, right? But say like the Viserai thing happens, right? Like it's a hero that was completely irrelevant. Now they get to have their one crazy summer in the sun, and we did it. Like that's fine with me. I don't think that's bad personally.
You got to reason the reason he was that close anyway is because he already had some crazy seasons.
Yeah. If you are a fan of that hero and you've been playing it for a long time, and it has rotated, you have spent 2+ years with that hero. That's fine, right? Because that's whenever this comes into effect, is at the beginning of year 2 of the hero existing, right? Is the 1.5 multiplier. And by the way, this is a band-aid. There's going to be a change, but this is a band-aid for now.
This is
So if you've been a fan of the hero, you have had 2 years with that deck, right? If you are not a fan of that hero, you're a meta slave anyways, or a meta sheep, or whatever you want to call yourself, and you're just going to hop onto the next best deck anyways.
all right. So it's
I don't see this being an issue.
first year 0.5, and then if it's 1 year, it goes to normal. But if it's 2 or more, it goes to 1.5.
Yeah, so the first year of existence, it's a half point.
It's like a protect your event. Like it's just crazy. That just means great. That means one of these high seas heroes, by the way, is so broken that it's thankfully for this 0.5. I'm being serious.
By
That
the way,
means that one of these heroes is going to be wild.
We would still be dealing with Enigma and Zen
Yeah. Like
for
they'd be-
another 6 months under this policy, at least.
And Zen was good after the ban, so it would be
No, I'm just saying,
messed
like,
up.
this
I
is a
think
Band-Aid.
everyone was okay with Enigma going. I think she went
This
a
was
little
the best
fast,
time.
but
This was the best time to introduce this system because we just had a bunch of the problem heroes or heavy top
Sure.
top heavy heroes disappear. Right? It's a good time to introduce this.
Okay, so does this mean that new gets a little bit longer shelf life?
She's a
She's
year
over a
older?
year now, right?
She will be.
Well, she's doing normal,
actually,
right?
no, technically she falls under the 0.5 rule, right?
For another month.
That might mean that she survives a couple weeks of Nats.
She'll make it to July 3rd or something. Instead of
Yeah,
being
but it
in the
almost
middle
certainly
of June.
guarantees that Dash and Azalea are gone. Or
Yes.
gone.
Yes, yes.
Oh, dude, this I gotta switch to that.
Dash-
Azalea's dead. What?
Azalea was always dead though.
Hey now.
If Dash wins any real, if she only needs 2 small nationals, a 64 to 80
What's-
person national, and she'll hit Living Legend.
What's Azalea? She's like 9 something.
Azalea's gone.
He's like 960.
There's no way she survives this Nat season.
No, not with the Ranger cards that were getting printed. No, thank
Golly.
No, she's gone.
I gotta play another Ranger.
you. Yeah, you're gonna pick up Marlin.
Dude,
She's
Marlin's
broken.
sweet.
Oh no.
Stop-
Well,
don't say
okay,
that too
she's
loud.
broken until Azalea LLs, and then she's probably just very good.
Yeah, she's
Death
great.
Dealer, and Marlin are just
It's stupid.
okay. So I don't know
Winners
if
and
this is
losers.
just we were so excited about the BNR or the.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk
I had a lot
spoilers
of
yet.
fun about the spoilers, the spoiler
Oh,
week,
yeah.
but it's just this a full week of stuff, and then we're just dead. It almost makes me not want to talk about it until next week, where we get to see the full list of cards. We had a ton of spoilers come out that we haven't talked
Look,
about. We're
look,
already
I
in
Hit your
think-
highlights. Hit your
the-
highlights. We'll talk about
okay.
the full heroes next week, but hit your highlights.
Yeah.
All right, dude, I'm super excited about Cogworks Dovetail. That card is so crazy. It's exactly what I wanted in the design of Puffin. I don't know if Puffin's going to be good. We gotta see. But if her commons and rares that we haven't seen yet are in that same vein of design as Cogworks Dovetail, she's going to be right there. Cogworks Dovetail is a majestic 1-cost red, block 3, base attack of 5. When this hits a hero, untap all cogs you control. Thrice per turn, instant tap a cog you control. This gets +1 or go again. The level of combat tricks this has, because if they want to try to, you could send it as high as 8, or you could send it as low as, as 6, or just leave it at 5 and give it go again. Just depends on how the opponent blocks it and how important it is that you untap those cogs.
And fun little tricks with this card. You can tap the cogs up front. It'll untap it, right? And this all happens in resolution. Then you can tap that cog again to get the go again part.
Oh, so okay. So if you only have 2 cogs out, you could tap it up to
Yep, you get full
7.
value.
It hits for 1. You untap both your cogs, and you could tap 1 again to give it the go again in resolution. I didn't even think about that. That's very good. So
Yes,
Okay.
that card's insane.
That kind of answers my question of how this instant tapping works. So you can tap it literally as you're in your hand. You can tap them, or does the card literally need to be attacking before you?
It needs to be
actually-
on it for this
On the
specific
stack.
mechanic. For this specific mechanic, the dovetail needs to be already resolved as attacking.
What if I just want to give it tap 3. Can I tap 3 cogs while it's still in my hand, and then when it comes out, it's
No.
8? Or do as I'm attacking, I'm going to tap. So
That
that's all I
card,
want.
attack cards don't have text until they're on the
They're
chain
in.
attacking.
Okay,
That's just
okay.
all attack cards are like that. You can't pay 3 into Exude Confidence to boost its attack while it's defending.
Gotcha.
However, yeah, same. I was about to bring that up. You cannot tap 2 cogs to make this a 7 on defense. So this is not a popper.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good.
My thoughts on Puffin right now is she feels like the Earth Heroes, where we saw Felling of the Crown, we saw Plow Under, right? We have Cogworks Ducktail, and we have the Plantier, and both of those are crazy cards, and we have Cog in the Machine. Like, we have the crazy M's. Cog in the Machine is a 1 cost, create 2 golden cogs. You may tap one of the cogs you control to put this card on the bottom of your owner's deck. That card is the best glue I've ever seen in my life. It is the power card. It is everything ever. That card's insane. But she needs her Rootbound Carapace and she needs her Cadaverous Tillink.
Yep.
Is how I
That's
feel about it right now.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. She needs her glue M's or her glue common and rares. But if she gets those, that deck is strong. That deck's really strong.
Right, Donnie, what's
We'll
yours?
find out about those next week.
Yeah, what card do you like, Donnie?
I mean, I don't know that I have a favorite card. Everything I've seen so far just kind of scares me as an assassin player. Specifically, the one that scares me the most, though, has got to be that Whaler Humperdinck guy. That gigantic, enormous necromancer ally. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but
He's a 7.
Okay,
he's
go ahead.
Yeah,
6
7
cost.
life, 11 attack. He is big.
Yeah.
6 cost. He pitches yellow. Notably, all the pirate necromancer allies do not block. Hit action, pitch 6, tap, attack, watery grave. This guy's a house.
Yeah, 7 is. It's gonna.
That's
be
a very
hard.
specific number.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult for my assassins to get to, and God, block with 2 cards, swing 11. Really?
Yeah, you can't ever let that guy live. You got to kill it on sight.
I think the best way to stop him from playing Humperdinck is to just like beat the crap out of him and make him never able to keep it. Keep the pitch without like losing a lot. But
I guess there's gonna be a lot more grave keepings in decks. That's basically what it boils down to.
You might have to. If your deck has a specific issue with Gravy Bones, which like new would be one of those decks.
Well,
you may need to
we're
be
losing
Grave
Sacred
Keepings.
Art and we're losing Passover, so
to be fair, Gravekeeping's not a terrible card inside of Assassin. Like like Swing
because
Dagger,
that's on
Codex,
purpose,
throw
by
1
the way.
cost.
Yeah, like that's a fine cost curve.
yeah.
Gravy cards. I guess we'll. Noah, do you want to talk about any of the gravy cards? Are you interested in any of those? Or are we talking about gravy now?
I mean, my specific one is Ranger. Ranger.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll talk about gravy now. I don't know. I've been working on the deck a little bit. He needs a couple more blues. He's very, very blue hungry. And you don't get to play as many allies as Dromai. Those are the first 2 things that like jumped out off the page to me. Was
This
that
Dromai's allies block.
Dromai's allies block, but also you can only water your grave from the graveyard anytime you played a blue. And you just need, like, playing blues out typically is bad rate. And so you need something to like help prop that up. So he has some crazy blues that have helped fix that, like Chart and No Quarter, whatever. Give No Quarter, take No Quarter. Those are crazy, crazy cards. Is it Take No Quarter or is it Give No Quarter? I'm trying to scroll and find it while I'm talking. It's not working. Give No Quarter. That one just says discount your next 2 allies by 3. And it's a 0 cost blue, block 3 non-attack action with Go Again, which is obviously a crazy card if you can double spell or double summon. But he's going to have some issues. I think he is a strong deck. I don't think he is tier 0 busted broken. Yet.
Yeah, he's definitely going to play differently than Dromai, definitely different than Prism. I mean, I don't think he's going to be an overwhelming, like, kind of board state hero. The way the allies seem to want to interact is that they are supposed to be synergistic with each other. Like, you're actually supposed to feel like you're building a crew, and maybe he's gonna like pick a champion kind of board state hero and like buff the rest and all of his allies buff that hero kind of thing. Does that make sense?
We'll see.
And it does do that a little
You
bit,
can.
like Dead Threads and Murray LeFay, the way they work together. It's really strong. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. We've been talking about the different allies essentially as like wounded bowls because a lot of the good ones, you get them into the graveyard, use the blue from hand to pay for them and swing them. If you add like life total plus attack total, you try to get the 8 value off those. And that's a good thing to be doing. If you have a bunch of wounded bowls in your deck, that's a good spot to be.
you want to know who's hilariously good into Gravy? Any variation of Dorinthia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You stack them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Hatchets, it's just like Hatchet 1 kills 1, Hatchet 2 kills 1, Hatchet 3 kills 1. And then Dawnblade is just like getting bigger, getting bigger, getting bigger. And then you go to finally attack the Gravy Bones, and he's like, my hand doesn't block.
Yeah, they are capped on the number of allies they can play. The other funny thing is because you have to play so many yellows and blues, you don't get to play a lot of reds. So I'm very interested to see what final Gravy Bone red counts are. I could see
At
like
least 6.
I could see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I could see sub 6 actually.
6. 3 Conquerors of the High Seas, 3 Command and Conquers.
I could see going down
I
with just
forgot about
Conquer the High Sea.
I forgot about the Conqueror. I was thinking Sink Below and Command and Conquer.
Oh no, I think you may be playing just 3.
I don't think you could afford to draw a D-React when you need to pitch blue. Like, I think
Yeah,
you lose
like-
on the spot. Like,
We'll see, but I'm very interested to see what happens with Gravy Bones there. Noah, what card are you interested in? Oh, I know what card you're interested in.
Yeah, I'm interested in Return Fire.
Card is gross.
yep.
I think. I mean,
Rangers.
I think it's insane. So I mean, Bolt Shot's not going anywhere, and I think Bolt Shot is like one of the perfect cards. Just the way to get it in your arsenal face up. It's 7. It's got going.
All right.
It has on hit reload.
Return Fire. A Ranger block card. Pitches red. Blocks for 4. When this defends, you may banish an arrow from your hand. If you do at the start of your next turn, put it face up in your arsenal. It gets +3 until the end of the turn. This card, like, it is incredible. It sounds
It
busted.
reads crazy.
Yeah, it reads crazy. It's not as crazy as it reads because you can't end your turn on an arsenal unless you're running Trench and you clear it out of your arsenal. And then you're kind of losing some value. But the one really cool thing about it is that it gets around total hand disruption too, right?
That is correct.
Like if someone's coming in like really big into you and you like block down 2 or 3 cards and one of these is Return Fire and you like banish your 0-cost arrow from your hand. No, they can't like come over with a pummel or anything and make you lose your last card. Which not only do you not lose your last card, it gets a +3 buff when it comes in. So Drill Shot for 7 on this is absolutely bananas. Searing Shot
Mario-
for 7.
Mario throws a bonds at you,
That's
and
what I
you
was
have
going
the
to
one
say.
arrow that you want to play out.
Yep.
Right.
You
And
just
get to
defend
save
your
it,
whole
like-
hand. And this is something Rangers actually have kind of needed
this
for a
feels
while.
good.
But
Yeah.
Blocking 4 at the same time actually seems a little
Mm-mm.
little
It
up there
should have
on
been a
rate.
3. Should
Yeah.
have been a 3. But it's a non-arrow, non-pump in Ranger, so it's like it's only ever going to be a sideboard card.
I don't know if you run this in Azalea. Like,
You blind flip into that, you feel pretty bad.
dude, no,
Yeah,
you
you just,
feel
like, lose on the
more
spot.
than bad.
Blind flip into that, your turn's dead. Water right there. So
Yeah,
Your turn?
like,
I mean, it's.
you just got to blind again next turn.
use blind
Yep.
again next
Oh
time.
yeah. Okay.
Not
You
only
can
that,
fix it.
it's
It'll
like
just-
So then you're gonna hit the
you're
other
really
one.
not fixing it. You're blinding again off of like no setup or anything, and your
Yeah.
opponent knows you have dog water in your arsenal and that
You just
you're
have
blind
the 50-50
flipping.
gamba.
Yeah, but okay. That's what I was. Blind Azalea is not blind Azalea. It's either a
Hey,
pump or an
okay.
arrow.
So
90%.
this arrow isn't like necessarily going to be played by any other ranger, but maybe Marlin. But like the ranger highlight for me, I think Bluefin Harpoon. That
Yeah.
card is so cool. It's got a whole
yeah.
series, but specifically the Bluefin one being like a late game blue that hunts blues. A 2-cost blue pitch, 3 block, 4 attack with Go Fish. When this hits a hero, they choose and reveal a card from their hand. If it's blue, they discard it and you create a gold token. If you've activated a cannon this turn, instead look at their hand and you choose the card. This is an
Card's
awesome
crazy.
card. This is like the blue that like Marlin really needed. I'm really
People
excited.
are dunking on these cards,
Marlin.
thinking they're bad. I think they're
No,
crazy.
I
These
think
cards
they're
are great.
amazing. They line up perfectly with the legs. They're all 2 cost. The cannon costs 4. It's a 2 blue pitch to give the arrow the cannon effect, so +4 and overpower, and you get to go fish, and you could give it go again with like.
Yeah, we're talking about the
These-
late game here. Who
yeah,
has defense reactions late game?
These are going to be just fine cards. I mean, like 3
They're
of the
gonna
kinds legal.
connect.
You get a whole. You don't have to put 3 arrows in your arsenal. You just spend all 3 of a kind cards and pitch.
Yeah.
You only need 1 big arrow. Marlon's talking about a big arrow, and what our arrow's going to do is take cards from your hand.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
Marlon.
excited.
Well, I think there's going to be at least 2 different versions of Marlin. There's going to be
Oh, yeah.
Big Arrow, obviously,
There's
which
going
is
to be a
also
big
going to be
arrow, and there's
Lexi.
going to be wide.
As long as Death Dealer's still around, there's 2 versions of Marlin. The one they meant for and the Death Dealer version.
Yeah. And
like-
even then, like I still think her other bow, it seems perfectly
you just
viable.
turned it
Red
into the
Spine
Liner deck.
Manta, even with Death Dealer here, and even after Death Dealer's gone, I think Red Spine Manta, with the ability to
It's just
untap
fine.
the bow and reload it and
Oh,
stuff, is
reach
fine.
out. Yeah.
I read Fire in the Hole for the first time, which it's just a 0 for 3 pump, but you may untap your bow. And I got Lexi flashbacks, and all my trauma came back, and I was not happy. I was very pissed. Like,
Yeah.
I am very much eyes on any other effect that untaps a bow, because that is one of the most powerful things that Rangers can be doing.
I mean, it's a +3 and an untap. That's pretty wild. I mean, especially because we're that.
And it's a rare. Why is it?
Oh, I know. It's
So it means
crazy.
it comes in. It
I'm
probably
fine.
comes in
I'm fine.
all 3 colors.
No, it only comes in 1 because
It only comes in 1.
It does the same thing as the other ones. I think,
Oh, okay.
if I remember.
All right.
Let me make sure I got the numbers right. Yep.
I
Yep,
want to
101.
give mention to the 2 expansion slot cards that we got spoiled.
Oh.
Even
not
if
gonna
they
talk about
don't
them.
like, even if they're not your cup of tea, or you don't really
really have
care
to
about
talk
the
about 'em?
class, the fact that they completely warp the way the hero plays means I'm really excited to see the rest of these expansion slot cards. We got Burn Bear, which is a colorless, non-pitchable, 3-cost, 3-block wizard action. Deal 6 arcane damage to any target. Instant discard this. Destroy target card with Phantasm that is attacking you.
Is everything
Awesome.
canon needed?
That card
That
is
one's kind of cool.
That card is so cool. It's a complete whiff if you draw it on your Kano turn because you can't pitch it, but it's a complete banger if you flip it off the top and you've got excessive amount of pitch because man, that card's coming in hard.
So versus Prism, you don't need to have like the crazy wildfire combos that you do versus everybody else. You just need to have regular combo, and you just need to have the wildfire connect because that's the only part that matters. So if you're ever throwing this card as your middle spell versus Prism, your wildfire is already connected. That's the most important part, anyways. So I love this card. I think it's great.
This also extends. This gives you like 1 more turn versus the Prism too, because like you only get like 3 turns versus Prism because she's throwing so hard. You can't really block very much, if at all.
It's a popper.
And then we
But
got
they can't
a
Herald of Triumph.
crazy Prism card.
We can skip this one.
No,
We ain't gotta
this
talk
card
about
is
it.
so
we can,
cool.
We can pretend it doesn't exist. I want to close my eyes,
close my
bury
eyes.
my head in
Okay,
the sand,
okay.
pretend this
Okay.
card doesn't exist.
1, it's not
This
yellow,
is-
and 2, it doesn't go to soul on hit. So there's some things to consider here. Herald of Second, 2 cost, 7 attack, 3 defense, red pitch. When this attacks, you may put a yellow card from your hand into your soul. If you do, deal 2 arcane damage to any target. Phantasm. So the cool thing about this card is one of the like worst things about Prism into some matchups is like it's just literally impossible to get soul unless you get your 1 light of soul and like get lucky and flip it in. Because you'll just get blocked out the whole time. Pop, 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 blocked out, blocked out, blocked out, and you don't really get to play the game. This card has its deck building downsides, and it is also very expensive because it does take like if this gets popped, you spent three cards to put 1 card into soul and deal 2 arcane damage.
But you put 1 card into soul.
Yes, you did. But you're putting a red card into your deck and it doesn't go into soul on hit. So I get it. If you've played into Prism enough times, you see Prism with a 3-card hand and no arsenal, you're almost never afraid of that. Now they actually have a 3-card hand that does something.
I mean, let's also be fair. They brought out a card that just nixes an ally entirely. And
I
Prism
want to talk
gets
about that card. That's the
no
card I'm excited
reward
for.
for it at all because they cost 0. So,
But now
So
I got to put minus touch in my deck. But we'll talk about that.
you,
I don't know.
I think this is a
great.
I think this is a
the
really
Herald
well
card's
designed
great.
card.
Oh,
Herald's
the art's
oh
awesome.
god, the art. There
It
better be a
is.
Marvel version of this.
Oh, if there's not, I'll write. I'll write alongside everybody else.
Ugh.
Okay, cards I want to talk about so we can finish sometime this year. I'm going to double dip on Sea Legs and Midas Touch, the two Majestics. And I want to talk about them for different reasons. Sea Legs is a 3 for 6 in yellow. It blocks 3. It says when this is discarded, create a Gold Kiss Rum token, and it's generic. This card is obviously brute support. Like, this is almost like custom made brute support because it is so flexible in brutes because of how scab skins work or how cast bones works or how whatever works.
I'm just sad I wasn't around when Eugene C saw this card.
I know. So yeah, we have a local who's a longtime brute guy, and we told him that he's not allowed to relapse, but it's very hard to convince him now. The thing that makes me really interested in it is if there are other decks that can also discard their cards. Gold Kiss Rum is. Have you played with Gold Kiss Rum yet, Thomas? Have you been messing around with any of it?
Yes.
I think it's the most powerful item or token in the game at this point.
Yes.
And giving every hero access to that is a card that I'm going to look at every single deck forever for the rest of the time. If they have any sort of discard synergy, I will be looking at Sea Legs because that is one of the most powerful things to be doing.
You remember when LSS said we're gonna like cut down on the action point generation?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if they give it to everybody, it's okay, right?
Maybe. We'll see. I like Midas Touch. It's a 1 cost yellow non-attack action block 3. It just says destroy target ally. Then its controller creates gold tokens equal to its cost. Go again. Noticeably with the illusionist allies, none of them have a cost associated with it, so it just pops them.
Oh.
And they don't get anything back. And versus
that.
Gravy Bones. Yeah. Versus Gravy Bones, like if you kill a Chowder costs 3. He gets 3 gold back. And there's like diminishing returns on gold for Gravy Bones. Like the first 3 gold are really good, but like gold's 5 through 8, like eventually you don't care.
You could hit the Whaler Humperdinck for 7, or you could just blast them
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Midas Touch. You can also notably hit Polycranka perched with Midas
Yes.
Touch. Just,
And everything just hates on Polycranker.
By the
and it
way,
makes me really
super
sad.
rude.
yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty rude to do.
You kill
Good.
Polycranker with a gold, like with a Midas Touch, like I might just walk off from the table. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. But I like that card. It's if your deck has issues with allies, it is the most generically good and reasonable solution.
It at least
It has
blocks
go
3.
again. It
I
blocks
did have
3.
another thought.
It's a yellow.
I did have another thought about the allies. I do absolutely love their names. At first, I wasn't sold about Gravy Bones, but now that we've seen a lot more of the allies, and specifically Scuba, the Scuba Dooba Doo,
Yeah, he's a good dog.
that dude's him's a good boy.
Yeah.
I think he's cool.
So
I like
This-
Morgan.
yeah.
Moray Le Fay.
Oh, Moray Le Fay, yeah.
I don't understand the joke on that one.
Morgan Le Fay.
It's Morgan Le Fay, but it's a fish, a moray.
I don't know what a Morgan Le Fay is, so I might be outing
It's a
myself
King
for
Arthur
something stupid.
thing, I guess.
Okay, sure.
I'm assuming it's
All right.
I don't know, maybe a love interest.
I don't know. I was never really into like King Arthur, I guess. So I guess I missed it.
Oh, all I know is that Necro deck's going to be mighty expensive with all those marvels.
Yeah,
Runs
it's a
out
lot of
there.
Marvels.
Hope everybody's ready for about 800 marvels and extended arts. And maybe not a lot of cards like Hunted. So,
What? Anyways.
singles.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Looking at the Majestics, the heroes get to do powerful things. It's really cool. We get their general gist now. We need to see some of their glue. And give me more cards like Fiddler's Green because that card's really cool. But
We didn't even talk about Fiddler's Green. We can talk about that later.
We did talk about Fiddler's Green.
Let's talk about it later. Let's talk about it later.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
When we get the full range, where we get the big surprises, we get the Codex reprint. Oh,
yeah,
it might be.
Yeah, sorry.
Brace yourselves for it.
But yeah.
Okay. I think we should wrap up there because I think our next podcast is coming just after the world premiere, which will be a complete focus on all of the cards and maybe just a very slight mention of Nats, because I think I'll be getting on a plane like the day after I post it to YouTube to go to Vegas.
Oh, you're heading out like a week early.
No, is it okay? No. Never mind. We have pre-release.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we have a whole week of pre-release. Okay, then I get on the plane. I don't know. I guess we'll talk about what the Nats meta is going to be like after pre-release. There you go. Then I'll be getting on the plane to go.
When is Nationals third through fifth? Correct.
It's 5th through 8th.
5th through 8th. Yeah, I can't even get.
I'm flying out on the 3rd to hang out and do stuff.
Okay. I haven't finalized just yet because I'm waiting on one thing. But
good.
All right. So a ton of stuff to still talk about. I feel like we only just barely brushed the cards. We're so obsessed with the BNR. I think the whole community was.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. So anything else we do want to touch on tonight before we close it out?
Nope.
Buy those cards.
Use the TCG affiliate link.
Please.
When you do it, do that.
Don't get a loan shark to do it. Just use the affiliate link.
That's only going to cost you 2 life.
That's another card that's crazy. Anyway, Noah, where can everybody find you, buddy?
At Big Max Fab on Twitter, at Big Max on Blue Sky, Big Max on Discord, and my hands open in packs. We're still cruising through Dynasty at the moment. Fun fact, I had to do a retake, so I stole a pack from another Dynasty box. But if you don't watch the podcast, you won't ever know that. So I can bury it here. Haha. Checkmate.
Justin, what about you?
J_EVS5 on Twitter and Jevzo5 everywhere else.
Okay, Thomas?
What the System Fab on Twitter, What the System, everyone else you would care to find me.
Okay. And I am Draco Hominus 87 everywhere social media is sold. I used to write articles for Fabric and Card Gamer, but yeah, not affiliated with them anymore. So just look me up, hit me up if you want to talk. If you want to leave comments in the comment section down below about anything that we talked about or didn't talk about that you thought we definitely should have, hit us up and let us know. We'll read them off. We'll probably make fun of you. We'll make fun of ourselves. Just Noah's shaking his head.
We won't do that. We won't make fun of you. I love you guys. Sound off in the comments. Do your thing.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the comments. But if there's nothing else, ready to go?
Always.
Yeah, send it.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed catching up with us this week. And if you did, subscribe or follow, depending on where you found us, to catch us again next time. Until then, take care of yourselves. And remember, we are all siblings in cardboard.
Unlike a pack of cards, you can just take from anywhere and replace. You can't just like move your cards around. Just read the card. The card will tell you what to do with your cards. You had newer players. Nobody told them. Read the card. It explains the card. They're commanding.
TCG players don't read.
They did. Read your cards. I believe in you. Take care.